So I'm listening to an interview that Terence Bud Crawford did on TMZ's YouTube channel earlier. Very, very, very good interview. And I want to give you guys my thoughts and my opinions on it when we get back.
Welcome to Real Life Boxing!
Blessed love and blessed day, oh boxing world, boxing nation, fighting world, fighting nation. It's Coach Fire and this is Real Life Boxing. I want to talk about this interview that Terence Crawford did on TMZ Sports earlier. Before we get into it, I want you guys to smash the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon so you can be notified when new content is being uploaded, and you can be notified when we are going live. Now, you guys might be seeing some stuff on this already that, you know, most people are talking about. Terence Crawford told Errol Spence, take off your panties, or yeah, take your panties off, pull your pants up, you know what I'm saying, and sign the contract and fight me. Now, obviously that stands out, but there were some other things that stood out in the interview to me that I really want to talk about.
I've been saying it for
Terence Crawford.
I don't know, what, a year and a half since I've been at 147. You know, it's crazy how everybody say, oh, well, he don't even have a title yet, and now that I got a title, now there's another excuse. So it seems like it's excuses after excuses after excuses. Now he's not worried about it. I honestly believe, you know, when it comes down to him, and deep down in his heart, he know what he's up against when he go up against me.
Do you think he's protecting himself and protecting his record?
To me, this is what stood out the most to me in the interview, this part of the interview.
A little bit that has something to do with a little bit, but at the same time, I just think, like, you know, he thinking the big picture. Like, if I take a chance like this, I need to be getting paid as much money as possible, just in case if I lose. You know, he's talking about he want to fight this guy and fight this guy, so he's going to be the A side, you know.
I feel like this was
50-55. Well, that just lets you know right now he's not 100% confident in his own abilities. You know, he can.
All right, let's get into it now. To me, I felt like that part of the interview was the most interesting part of the interview. Now, they also spoke about the interviewer asked him what he thought about the Errol Spence Sean Porter fight, and he said that he felt like Sean Porter did enough to edge it out. The interviewer also asked him if he feels like Errol Spence was exposed, and he said no, because he's known Sean Porter for a long time, and he knows that Sean Porter is a good, rough, rugged fighter. He said he's seen Sean Porter beat all the top amateurs. You know, when they were amateurs that Sean Porter wasn't supposed to beat, he rose to the occasion and he beat those guys. So a very, very, very good interview on TMZ. You guys should go check it out. It's right on the YouTube channel. But I want to give my thoughts and opinions about that particular part of the interview. Like I said, the last thing that he told Errol Spence when the interviewer asked him if he had any words for Errol Spence, said, take off your panties, pull up your pants, and fight me. And I mean, you know, Terence Crawford has to be like one of the realest boxers in boxing today. When you hear him speak, you don't really hear him trying to cut no corners. You don't really hear him. He sounds, you know, real truthful. You know, some people have the gift of the gab, and even Errol Spence, I'm pretty sure that we can all agree, whether you're Errol Spence fan, Errol Spence fanboy, Errol Spence hater, you know, whatever. I think that we can all agree that Errol Spence's mouth has gotten him into trouble a few times. You know what I'm saying? Just not really confident in the things that he's saying, contradicting himself. You know, people say he's drunk and then he starts talking reckless. But I'm saying when Terence Crawford talks, it always seems really really believable, really truthful. I mean, he just, you know, he just seems like he's being really real and genuine. He's not trying to cut no corners. He's not trying to tell no stories. You know, he's just being real. So that's why I say Terence Crawford has to be one of the realest boxers in the game right now. In that segment of the interview, he talks about the money in the A side and this, that, and the third. Now, a lot of boxing channels on YouTube, a lot of the black channels on YouTube, they hate on Terence Crawford because he signed with Al Heyman. You know, Errol Spence is the A side. Terence Crawford needs to fight more people. But we never hear Terence Crawford talking about money. We hear a lot of fighters, when they talk about certain fights, they mention money. We never hear Terence Crawford talk about money. He said that when Errol Spence probably wants to make as much money as he can, you know, because he feels like, well, if he's going to take such a big risk, you know what I mean, he can lose this fight, so he wants to make as much money as he can, whether it be 50, 50, 40, I mean, 50, 50, 60, 40. Well, they don't want 50, 50, but he says he doesn't care about that. You know what I'm saying? He knows that he's the best, so he knows that he's going to win anyway. So he doesn't really care about the money split, 60, 40, whatnot. And to me, that's one of the realest things that a fighter can say nowadays, because we simply just don't hear fighters talk like that. Nowadays, when fighters talk, especially if it's a high-risk fight, you're going to hear them talk about the money first, how much they're getting paid. And if they're not getting paid this much money, then they're not taking that fight. You don't hear them talking about, if he's the best and I'm the best, then I want to fight him to see who's the best. We don't hear that coming out of fighters anymore. But we hearing that come out of Terence Crawford. Now we hear Errol Spence say he wants to be undisputed, and he's unified, he wants to be undisputed. But to be undisputed, you only have to fight 2 more people, Manny Pacquiao and Terence Crawford. And if you're not going to get the Manny Pacquiao fight next, then why not Terence Crawford? Why not Terence Crawford? Why not Terence Crawford? You're your own boss. It's man down. Why not Terence Crawford up next? And again, I like Errol Spence. You know what I'm saying? I like both of these fighters. And I want to see them fight. You understand what I'm saying? I want to see them fight. And I just like the way, that Terence Crawford talks about it more than I like the way that Errol Spence talks about it. At the end of his fight with Sean Porter, you know, they asked him, he said a Manny Pacquiao fight, and then if they couldn't make the Manny Pacquiao fight, a Terence Crawford fight, and then if they couldn't make the Terence Crawford fight, you know, maybe he'll go up to 154 and fight J-Rock. You know what I mean? But the Terence Crawford fight, it can be made. It can be made. ESPN and PBC, we have Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder. So the Terence Crawford fight, it can be made. I'm sure if Errol Spence was just like, yo, you know what? Let's make the fight happen. I want Terence Crawford to be my next fight. Let's make it happen, that the fight can be made. You guys tell me what y'all think about it in the comment section. It's like, I don't know, man. And like, oh man, sip of coffee. But it's like now, the Errol Spence fans, they don't even want to see the fight. Now they're saying, tell Terence Crawford to go fight Sean Porter. You know what I'm saying? So it's mad weird. Like, I don't know. Boxing's mad weird nowadays. The fans are mad weird. Like, you know, as a boxing fan, and fuck it, even as a fan of a certain fighter, if you really feel that your fighter is the best, won't you want to see your fighter fight the other guys who they say is the best, so there can be no more question of who's the best? That's how I see it, man. You know what I mean? That's how I see it. Did you watch the NFL? Would you want your team to make it all the way to the Super Bowl? You would want your team to play in the Super Bowl, right? Same shit. You would want your team to make it to the Super Bowl, right? And then even if they lose the Super Bowl, you could say, yo, well, we made it to the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? We was the runner-ups. But, man, it's like, Errol Spence fans, all right, first Crawford had to get a belt. He got the belt. And now it's, you know, it's go fight Sean Porter. When nobody was calling for Terence Crawford to fight Sean Porter before Sean Porter gave Errol Spence such a tough fight, now everyone wants Terence Crawford to go fight Sean Porter. I mean, we you know, shout out to Terence Crawford in the interview, man. We as boxing fans, we gotta do better, man. You know what I'm saying? I really feel like we gotta do better. You know what I mean? It's not doing anything for the sport. It's not doing anything for the fighters. You know what I'm saying? You guys tell me what y'all think about it in the comment section. Until then, keep fighting your fight and protect yourself at all times, man. Peace and one love. So if you like this video and you would like to see more great content like this on the channel, go to the PayPal link or the Cash App link in the description and show your appreciation by donating any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Thanks for watching. Thanks for the support. This is Real Life Boxing.